an arrest in the case, and police say this new search that has only been conducted in Vegas over the past 24 hours is a part of an inquiry into his killing even all these years later. They say yes and no, but if he had given them the money, it would have been murder for hire, and Puffy should be put in jail. I hope the rumor that Puffy allegedly gave Zip the money after Tupac was dead got out there. Sin City, the home is allegedly connected to a man long known to investigators whose nephew had come forward as a suspect soon after the rapper's murder. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department confirmed it served a search warrant in the neighboring city of Henderson, but the department hasn't released any additional information, including whether they expect to make an arrest. As you might anticipate, the initial responding officer from the night, Tupac Shakur, was shot in Las Vegas, is commenting on the reopened homicide investigation. Public records, including voting records, connect the recently raided house to the wife of self-described gangster Dwayne "Keffe" D. Davis and the uncle of Orlando Anderson, one of known adversaries of Assata Shakur, who investigators have long suspected of being involved in the rapper's killing. Sean Puffy Combs, or better yet, Diddy, the creator of the Bad Boys, is among the few supposedly implicated in Tupac's murder mystery who are in a state of intense panic. Numerous hypotheses have suggested that Diddy hired hitmen to kill the Dear Mama hitmaker ever since Pac's death and the subsequent investigations. 2 years after Anderson's denial of involvement in the killing, the Associated Press was able to receive a copy of the search warrant, which reveals detectives gathered Shakur's body, numerous computers, a phone, and various papers. A Vibe magazine featuring several pieces about Shakur, 40 caliber bullets, 2 tubs of pictures, and a copy of Davis's 2019 memoir were also discovered. Residents of Compton Street Legend, a suburban Henderson neighborhood situated in the city's foothills about 20 miles southeast of the Las Vegas Strip, reported seeing police detaining 2 people outside the home as detectives searched the one-story structure. The record mogul is claimed to be furious since this most recent action caught him off surprise, even though it is still unclear whether the evidence discovered at the scene would link Diddy to the Pac's death. Shakur's long unsolved murder, which has been the focus of conspiracy theories, received new life after word of the search. The case has garnered attention for decades, despite the fact that no one has ever been arrested. One of the most important and versatile rappers of all time, the illustrious artist is highly acclaimed. Shakur was traveling in a convoy of around 10 vehicles on the evening of September 7, 1996, in Marion Sudi Knight's black BMW. A block from the Las Vegas Strip, they were sitting at a red light waiting. Shakur passed away as his 4th solo album, All Eyes on Me, which had sold about 5 million copies and had 6 Grammy nominations, remained on the charts. According to Las Vegas police, there have long been rumors that Diddy bought off the law enforcement officials and the witnesses. The quiet was broken in 2018 when Keffe, who said he was ready to talk after learning he had cancer, acknowledged to being in the front seat of the Cadillac and claimed his nephew Anderson was one of the 2 guys in the rear seat. In his autobiography, the former gang boss asserted that he informed federal and local officials of what he knew almost a decade earlier during discussions that took place behind closed doors while they investigated the possibility that Assata Shakur's death was related to the drive-by shooting of his rap rival in March 1997. Despite his refusal to identify the gunman and insistence that he had to abide by the laws of the streets, Keith said that the rounds were fired from the back of the automobile. I was promised release by the Notorious Big, a close friend of Diddy, in exchange for the truth regarding the deaths of Biggie and Tupac, as well as for my participation in a criminal operation and several purported murders. According to Keith D., they allegedly made a vow to destroy the indictment and stop the grand jury when I helped them at the time of their deaths. Shakur suffered significant injuries in a second gunshot during a heist in a Midtown Manhattan hotel's lobby, which sparked the animosity. The Change's hitmaker publicly charged Big and Diddy with knowing about the shooting in advance, which they both adamantly denied. This caused a significant gap among fans of hip-hop, as well as within the community. Both rap artists were a part of the notorious East Coast-West Coast rivalry that largely shaped the hip-hop scene in the middle of the 1990s. It's unknown if Keith has been living in the house that Las Vegas police recently searched or if he was there. When police arrived, Keith claimed that once they asked him about the circumstances leading up to Tupac's shooting, he went ahead and began to respond. I sang because they said I wouldn't be charged, he continued, adding that he believed they were lying about the agreement, but that they kept their word and dropped the charges, which threw the entire case into disarray and prevented anyone from going to jail. When Biggie's murder case was reopened by his mother Wallace Valletta in 2006, everything started to go wrong for Diddy, based on the widely accepted conspiracy notion that the police covered up her son's death. Wallace Valletta filed a $500 million lawsuit against the LAPD. Greg Carding of the LAPD was assigned to the case after that, and his investigation led to a more conclusive finding than he had anticipated. While looking into Biggie's death, Katie stated that he thought the deaths of the two most important rappers in hip-hop were connected. After 3 years of working on the case, he had unearthed new information that connected both crimes. Following the highly publicized rap beef between himself and Biggie, Detective Cardin concluded that scene Puff Daddy Combs had put a $1 million hit on both Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight. According to Cardin, the music mogul had close gang ties in LA and hired Crips member Dwayne Keith "Keffy" D. Davis to carry out the hit. The investigator claims that Orlando "Baby" Lane Anderson, a member of the Crips gang, was responsible for killing Tupac. He asserts that Keffy D was originally supposed to carry out the hit, but that plans were changed at the last minute when they unexpectedly pulled up next to Tupac's vehicle. So Kathy's nephew executed the hit instead, killing Tupac and injuring Suge Knight. Intriguingly, Baby Lane and Pac engaged in a physical altercation at a Las Vegas casino just hours before the killing, and Biggie Small is more than just the reason Faith Evans is said to have known about Diddy's plan to kill Tupac after the West Coast rapper was killed. Detective Cardin asserts that Biggie was not involved in the killing of Tupac, despite their well-known musical feud. He asserts that Diddy's plans to assassinate both Shakur and his manager, Suge Knight, were unknown to the New York-based MC. As a result of Tupac's narrow escape from death in the murder of Suge Knight, the owner of Death Row Records allegedly reacted by hiring a Bloods gang member to kill Biggie. It's important to remember that the video also claims that Knight saw Tupac's murder and actually went to school with the hired hitman. The documentary asserts that the hitman shot and killed Biggie as he was walking home from a party held by Vibe magazine. Keffy D. Diddy has long been linked to Pac's tragic demise by a large number of followers and prominent people. As an illustration, in 2018 a feud almost arose after musician Eminem said Diddy was to blame for Tupac's passing. Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly were involved in a long-running feud at the time, and as M insulted Kelly, he also seemed to infer that Diddy was responsible for ordering Tupac's killing in 1996. Killshot's lyrics promise that he won't fail. Although this idiot's boss assures him he has skills while popping medications, "I'm still with the doctor," Kel's Diddy acknowledges putting out the single that went viral and killed the day he released it. Despite later acknowledging that he is only playing it, Eminem raps on the song. A number of fans responded right away, with some demanding Diddy be charged with a crime. Diddy called Keith D. 3 days after the murder to ask if they were responsible for killing Tupac. According to Keith D. Claims that Diddy, who has previously denied any involvement, offered them $500,000 to murder one group and $500,000 to assassinate another group. Puffy seen Combs, the statements made by Brother Love that he offered $1 million to assassinate Suge and Tupac because he was terrified of them, must have some basis in reality. Do you believe Diddy has any involvement with the recent rounds of inquiries into Tupac's slaying? If so, please share your thoughts in the section below. If not, we will see you tomorrow.